Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Today, what I wanted to do is just a compilation video. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and I thought it would be interesting to just react to TikToks that I haven't chosen because I've been really particular lately. So I kind of want to do this just to shake it up. And we're starting with More Than Tracy T, of course, my girl. One of my girlies. But let's go ahead and react to this. This was just posted. So, yeah, let's see what we got.
If you do not date fat people because you just happen to view fatness as neutral but not be particularly attracted to it, fine.
That's a really extra thing. And I don't know who thinks about things that way. People typically will just like look at somebody and be like, not attractive, or maybe they'll be like, meh, kind of in between. And that's basically it. It's a very subconscious assessment or a very quick snap judgment, usually in most people. So, yeah, I think that that's really extra. People typically don't think about things this deeply. What I do find interesting about More Than Tracy T is that I think she said that she's asexual. So I don't know why she projects her experience onto people that have sexual desire. It's very bizarre. But let me just explain that to you. It's a snap judgment. It's quick. It's not deep. People don't think about it for 10 minutes before they decide if they're attracted to somebody. That's just not the way it works. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue.
That's a preference. If you don't date fat people because you think being fat means that they are gross, lazy, live an unhealthy lifestyle, or are embarrassing to be seen with in public, that's fatphobic.
I guess it could be, but I don't know. I mean, unless if we're going around running in people's minds and possessing people and, having spiritual mergers with them, I don't know that we're ever going to know why somebody's not attracted to somebody unless if we are that person. So I think it's pointless to really go that deep and try that hard to know what is going on. I think we know in general that being fat dampens your looks. I will always say that, and people can hate on me. Usually people don't. If anything, I'm probably more generous with this type of thing. But people who are fat, their looks are dampened. They're not, it doesn't necessarily make you really ugly, but it does make you less attractive than you would be if you weren't. And that's just the way it is, honestly. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to just keep it honest. Okay? Let's continue.
But to insist your preference is for people who aren't lazy, sloppy, and disgusting and unhealthy, meaning that means you prefer skinny people because all fat people.
If you say that out loud, then that is really extra. Honestly, I think it is kind of extra. But if you just say, like, I'm not into fat people, I don't think that that's extra because it could just be purely aesthetic for the person or it could be lifestyle. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at that moment, you're fat and they're not into you. And that's about it. That's where it begins. That's where it ends. And we don't need to analyze why people don't find us attractive. I don't think that that's healthy. I think that's a huge waste of time. So, anyways.
Are those other things? That's actually bigoted. That's actually
It depends. When you are morbidly obese or super morbidly obese, in my opinion at least, it does denote a certain lifestyle because it doesn't just happen. It's not a force of nature. It's not something that just like, whoa, all of a sudden you woke up super morbidly obese. That typically doesn't happen. There's typically either health complications involved in that or there's, issues mentally that are involved in that, or there is just somebody who's lazy and whatever, all those things. So either way, honestly, if we're going to keep it honest, being a huge size is a red flag. It just is. For a lot of different reasons. I personally would see it as a red flag myself. So I'm not going to judge somebody else for seeing it as a red flag because it is. It may not be the situation. You never know. If you're super into them, aside from that, then maybe you would look at it. Maybe you would explore the connection. I'm not going to judge you. But at the end of the day, I will understand because I feel similarly. I see it as a red flag. I do.
Deciding that one group is all the same because of how they look. Hope that makes sense. Have a good day.
Whatever.
This is so sick and fucking twisted.
When straight-sized people call themselves midsize and hashtag body positive in their post.
Sick and twisted.
Okay. I don't know what is with their thing in midsize. Midsize, in my opinion, it has to do with being neither thin or fat. And that is very subjective. It's a super subjective line. There's no medical categorization. There's no BMI categorization. There can be a body fat percentage, but it depends on what chart you're using, which in and of itself can be a bit subjective because maybe somebody else uses a different chart. The chart that I use would consider fatness to end for men around 20, I think it's like 25% or something like that. But you'd still technically be kind of overweight by that standard. But the chart that I have is pretty strict. It's not an American chart, I don't think. So honestly, it just depends. When you reach a certain level, then it is subjective because it's a spectrum. So if somebody sees themselves as mid-size, then that's kind of what it is, you know? I don't know. The policing of it is so stupid to me. I will let you guys know when I think I'm mid-size. I'm not there currently. I am on the tail end of being a mid-fat, really close to being a small fat. That's what I will say. I can try to show fatness. But that's where I'm at right now. I will let you guys know. I actually like the size spectrum. I think it helps to talk about especially social dynamics. So I do appreciate that. But in terms of like mid-size, it's an incredibly subjective thing because when do you say you're not fat anymore? That's the question of mid-size. When do you say you're thin? That's the question of mid-size. It depends. It's different for everybody. Get over it. Okay, let's move on. I feel like when I'm doing this, I'm like,
You're
boom,
a
boom, boom.
fatty.
Doesn't bother me.
Keep eating, fatty.
One of my more self-destructive behaviors on this app is any video that's making this joke, which I love personally. I love to scroll through the comments and look for all of the thin people crying about how I guess I just can't have body image issues then, can I? Body dysmorphia is a thing.
Gosh, is this the empathy that you want people to have for fat people? I'm just going to brush my hair. I don't even care to listen to her. Look, I don't know if I have reacted to this before, but if I have, we're getting another one because it's refreshing in my memory. All I can say is I love the voice. I hope you wouldn't mind if people use that same voice for fat people or for you because that would be incredibly hypocritical. So keep going. Keep doing it.
First of all, nobody is telling you that.
I hate it when people say that because you don't know what everybody's saying. So I think it's really stupid to say. Honestly, I will just say that flat out. I hate it when people go, nobody's telling you that. You don't know what every single person, what every single interaction that person has is, especially online. You do not know. There could be one person telling them that. Just saying. I mean, it's just stupid.
Don't lie to me. Second of all, let's remove the...
And if they had proof, then would that be a lie? And also, I don't know. It's just ironic. Isn't it ironic to hear somebody like her saying, don't lie to me? I think it's hilarious, actually, if we think about it a little deeper.
body size aspect of this conversation. You and I are talking and I'm like, oh God, if I looked like you, I would feel so gross. Oh, my worst fear is to look like you. Gross.
Some people, they look at it weirdly. Like fatness is one of those issues where it's something that people judge in themselves differently than they judge in others. I know that this is incredibly difficult for a lot of fat people to understand, especially within fat acceptance, but it is the case. There are a lot of people who think it's okay if other people are fat, but it's not okay if they are. There are a lot of people that feel that way. It's not necessarily logical, but this is a very emotional thing. And it could just be that they themselves feel like they can't handle it or whatever. I just don't care that much about it in general. I care about it more for health reasons. I don't think about the aesthetics of my weight every second of every day. I just don't. It's not helpful at this point in my journey. It also doesn't matter. It's also not supremely different, in my opinion, from on an aesthetic level. I just think it hasn't reached a point where it's like super different to me personally, which again, people have a right to look at their bodies and judge it a certain way. So it's like, I don't know. I think if fat acceptance would just mind their own business, it would solve so many of their problems, honestly. And I think it's funny because they're always trying to act like they want everyone else to mind their own business. And it's like sometimes when you engage with people, you need to be the change you want to see in the world. Mind your own business. Okay? I get it. There are some people who are extra about people who are fat. Okay, it's extra. And I would say the same thing to them. I would say mind your own business. I would say I'm working on it. I understand that it's an issue. I get it. I know it can change. I know I can do something about it, and I'm doing something about it. That's what I would say. But other than that, it's my thing, I want us to move away from this like public shaming aspect and more of like an intrinsic motivation aspect, because I feel like that's how this issue actually gets solved. A lot of people don't respond to shame in the way that you would think that they would. So it's like inspire, motivate, show what's possible. These are the ways forward, in my opinion. So that I will kind of agree with, but not really, because she just wants everyone to stay fat because she doesn't want to do the work to stay a certain size. That's my opinion when it comes to her. But yeah. So I guess keep encouraging others to be vastly bigger than you. Jock scientist.
I feel gross thinking about
Jock scientist.
You would stay my friend after that? Nobody's gatekeeping body image issues, but please.
That's not true. There are a lot of people in FA that are. And honestly, you have yourself, because you have had lots of issues with people who are mid-size and you've made a lot of videos about it. So I don't know. I think whatever, object permanence is a thing. I remember you. I remember things that you've said. It is what it is. I want to go back a little bit.
And after that? Nobody's gatekeeping body image issues, but please stop unveiling your fat phobia to your fat friends, at least. When you get to that point, then you get to sit with the fact that your body image issues do not remove the privileges that come with existing in a thin body.
I'm telling you guys, when I'm thin, they are going to be really pissed, because I'm going to be, I don't even know. Like, that's the kind of person where I would flip her off. Honestly, if I was in person, I would do it. Basically, but she probably would have no guts in person. So that would be a whole other thing. But honestly, like, I cannot stand her. So anyways, let's continue.
I feel that in my life I have gotten a fair amount of criticism that's like, you dress like a little kid. Well, I'm here to tell you why that is.
I mean, dress how you want. I think it doesn't really require explanation. Okay, end the TikTok. Boom, done. Oh, it's done. Bye. Oh, wait, we have to justify it or whatever and try to tie it into some narrative and try to be a victim about it. Okay, sorry, I thought we were moving on.
When I was actually a child and a teenager, I didn't get to have a limited 2 phase or an Aeropostale phase because I was too busy shopping at the one store at the mall that had sizes for me and dressing like your dad's legal assistant or your church organist. So now, as an adult that they make cute clothes in my size, I'm going to heal my inner child all that I like, and I'm going to look hella cute while I do it. So you're welcome.
I don't know. I think it's just a refusal to grow up, and it's really cringe, and that's just my opinion, which that's fine. We don't have to be friends. Okay? We don't. We're on different levels. We think about things differently. It is what it is, and that's okay. We have different values. That's okay. So I think it's cringy as hell. I do. Like, I don't like it when people refuse to grow up. I think it's really cringy. So, anyways, let's continue.
Welcome.
Is great. Do not count that as exercise.
I'm so glad you said that. It is the
That doesn't make any sense. Walking is exercise, especially for a very fat person. I don't like it when people say things like that because they've never been super morbidly obese or they've never been big. So they don't understand what is an exercise to somebody who is super fat. That is definitely an exercise. Go ahead and tie a bunch of weights to yourself and then go for a walk and you'll see. Like, just stop. You guys sound so dumb when you say things like that.
Intentionally illustrates why the solution to fatphobia is not and never will be weight loss, because no matter what you do, they're always going to move the bar. Because to them, fitness is not actually an act of something that is good for your body. It is in fact a punishment for the social deviance of fatness. That is why if you are fat and you find a form of exercise...
Hold on, this person's really low.
you said that. It is the
will be weight loss. The solution to fatphobia is not and never will be weight loss, because no matter what you do, they're always going to move the bar. Because to them, fitness is not actually an act...
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not losing weight for fat phobia. I think that's really stupid. That's a really stupid supposition. It's a really stupid reason to go into weight loss. It's not going to sustain you. It's too long a journey. It needs to be self-directed. Like, can we please have it be self-directed? Please. It would really, really help. Really, really, really would help. It's not helpful. I don't even consider fat phobia in terms of weight loss personally. From a super morbidly obese perspective, from somebody who was that size, who was that big, who I have over 100 pounds, almost 200 pounds to lose, I did not think about fat phobia in regards to my decision to lose weight, in regards to my actions to lose weight, in regards to anything to lose weight, because for God knows how long, that would still be a part of my experience as a fat person, would be fat phobia or whatever, the social stigma of fatness. It would be a part of my experience for a long time. So I don't consider it. I get it somewhat if somebody is on the smaller end of fat and they want to lose weight because they want to be liked or something, or they want something like that. I've heard people say that before. That's fine. I don't judge because I'm not like freaking out about why people are losing weight. I don't really care. I just care that you do it in a healthy, sustainable way. So it's like, I don't care. But all I can tell you is, from a super morbidly obese starting point, you're probably not going to be able to use social pressures because you're not going to have any relief of those things for quite a while. So buckle up, buttercup. So I think that's stupid in the first place to even say that.
If something that is good for your body, it is in fact a punishment for the social deviance of fatness.
I don't think that exercise should be seen as a punishment. I think exercise should be seen as just a part of life. I think it's a natural part of life where people need to embrace just moving. I don't think it's natural to sit catatonic all the time. I just don't. I refuse to accept that, especially having an active lifestyle for the past few years. I think it is something I'm never going to go back to. I don't ever want to just sit again, ever, as long as I can. And even if I can't walk in the future, or if I'm really like old or something and I can't walk very well, I still am going to be trying. It's like, I'm going to use it until I lose it. I'm going to go as long as I can now. Like, I'm done with sitting. And so it's like, I just think you don't need to think of exercise as a punishment. You need to think of it as something as natural as breathing. That's basically what you should do, because that's basically what it is. So again, I'm just getting more distance from fat logic, but this kind of stuff, it's really irritating to me to hear. It really is.
That is why if you are fat and you find a form of exercise that you enjoy and is good for your body, is low impact or low intensity or, God forbid, fun, they're going to tell you that it is not good enough because they don't want you to benefit from exercise.
I don't know if it's about they don't want you to benefit. I think it's just that they personally wouldn't benefit from it, so they project that onto you, which is stupid. I need thin people collectively to understand that you do not understand necessarily what it's like to be super morbidly obese if you never have been, or if you've never been around it, if you've never lived with somebody that has that type of condition. If you don't know anything about it at all, then you shouldn't speak on it that way. And you shouldn't be shading walking. Walking is one of the best things for somebody in that bracket to do. So that is very stupid. Do not shame what is accessible. Do not shame what is helpful at all. Any movement whatsoever is helpful to somebody that is in a super morbidly obese body. It is incredibly helpful to move at all. So just stop. Stop being judgmental. Just stop. It's stupid. So, yeah, I'm just saying in terms of that stuff. Now, if somebody's more in shape, like for me, I definitely had to incorporate weights and other things. It's not just walking that I do, but there was a time when it was just walking. And even in the winters, the past few years, it's had to be just walking because I can't always sustain the gym, or I couldn't always sustain the gym. So I don't judge people for that. Most people that are trying to lose weight, they will do what they can when they can, and trust people's judgments on that. That's all I say. I just tell people, just do it when you can. Do it as soon as you can, when you can, in whatever circumstance that you can. Do it. That's what I say. I don't know. I'm not watching everybody all the time. Again, self-accountability, self-motivation, intrinsic motivation. We need to shift this narrative. I am so tired of it.
They want to hurt you with it.
Okay, that was really extra. Okay, let me try to adjust this again. Okay. That was crazy, the audio.
Then why aren't smalls and extra smalls cheaper than larges and extra?
Gosh, I cannot read this for the life of me. I don't know what. Yeah, it's because my quality is trash for some reason. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. As a plus size woman, you must be joking, right? There goes more fabric. That means more cost. So, of course, we have to pay more. Pretty much. Now, let's hear this dip. Try to explain why that doesn't exist.
Then why aren't smalls and extra smalls cheaper than larges and extra larges? Why do petite sizes typically cost more and little people have to pay more for clothes that...
A lot of times because they're subsidizing your fat ass. That's why. So it depends on the brand. It depends on what's going on. But there are times when there is a subsidy, like there is a subsidizing if it's charged the same across the board for the same shirt, for the same outfit. Now, if it's a petite size, but it's a different brand, that's a whole other thing. And that's a dishonest comparison, and you know it is.
that fit them correctly. I think as a society, we should grow the fuck up and realize that bodies come in different shapes and sizes and that no one should be penalized financially for that fact, especially considering that fat people...
If it takes more material to make it, then it is what it is. Again, I think that somebody like this doesn't understand that it's just as unfair to charge somebody else for your fatness, which is what you're advocating for. because in order for a business to do that, they charge the same across the board, which means that those smaller sizes are actually paying more than what they're taking up, which isn't technically fair. But whatever, you guys don't care about what's fair as long as it benefits you. Now, I don't want to hear, this is the same logic that goes behind kicking somebody off a flight because somebody's so fat that they take up 2 to 3 seats. That is not fair to those two people. You don't care about fairness. I don't buy you. I don't buy what you're saying. I would literally, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm getting more combative as time goes on. I don't know what is going on. It's probably because I have more energy and vitality. But I'm telling you, like, all I can say is, if it's ever me, God bless the airline that tries to do that to me, because there will be hell to pay that day. That's all I can say. I will rain hellfire down upon you, airline agent, if I have to get off of a flight because somebody's a fat ass. So it's going to be a viral moment. It would be a moment that would go in the history books, because I'm telling you, I will raise hell if they do that to me. So couldn't be me, I guess. But that is not fair. That's the kind of logic that you're advocating for. It's that similar, well, smaller people should subsidize larger people's clothes. I don't think that's fair either. But you don't care about it. So I think it's time for you to grow up and understand that what you're advocating for isn't fair.
People are less likely to be hired, to be promoted, and are typically paid less than people living in smaller bodies for no reason except...
No reason. None. So there's absolutely zero effect on any work ethic due to health issues that are likely elected health issues because you choose to be fat. If that's true, then you should just lose the weight then. If you truly believe that you're just going to make less money because you're fat, then wouldn't you want to lose weight? Wouldn't that be an incentive to lose weight? You guys are incentivizing me to lose weight, I guess. If I believe you, okay, I guess I better lose the weight then because I'll make more money. I mean, you're actually promoting it. It's kind of funny, but they don't see the logic. I do. It comes from not being as effective as a worker as you could be. That's not to say that you're an ineffective worker. It just means that if you are an effective worker, you would be even more effective if you were thin. It's just the way it is. It is just the way it is.
Except for their weight. What you are also missing is that fat phobia.
It's their health too, which that's a whole other thing. And again, health, when it's elected, when you're electing to have a health issue, which is what you're doing when you're overweight, there are consequences for that. And one of them is you make less money and you also spend drastically more money on food, which you guys never, ever acknowledge.
And ableism are intrinsically linked, and there are many...
No, they aren't, because most people do not choose to be disabled, whereas you choose to be fat. So that's a complete false statement, and that's very stupid. Very stupid. I need to look at this person. I'm going to write your name down. Somebody's going to get a whole video. Ooh, no. Mm-mm. No, no, no. Okay. Maybe we'll do that right after, because I'm about ready to go off on her. I'm just kidding. Not literally, but she's really annoying. So I know you guys love that. So thanks. Thanks, compilation.
Disabilities that lead people to have larger bodies. And you are...
Okay, well, you need to clarify. Show examples. Say what you're talking about. In terms of that whole thing, it comes from the disability. The disability would be the root of the problem, wouldn't it? So, I just can't even. I hate it when they say things like that and they give zero context and they just expect you to not question it at all.
Actively contributing to the oppression of disabled people with rhetoric.
I'm having a Samara moment. Oh my gosh. So what does it mean if you're choosing to be disabled? What does that mean? What are you doing to disabled people if you elect to be disabled? That's my question to you.
Rhetoric like this. And just a PSA to all of the people trying to clearly differentiate themselves as a good fat by starting their...
Oh, here we go. Good fat. And what are you? Are you the evil fat? Are you the bad girl? What are you? What does that even mean? Dumb.
Comment, as a plus size woman, as a person who wears size blah, this doesn't make them pick you or respect you more.
Well, I would not give a rat's ass, a flying F-U-C-K. I will not say it for YouTube, but I wouldn't give a hate that I can't cuss. I wouldn't give anything. I don't give a beep, beep, and beep, and beep about what you think. Okay? So how do you like them apples? How do you like that? I do not care at all. Zero what you think. Nothing. It's completely worthless. What you think is completely worthless to me on all levels. And that's about it.
Just gives them ammo to be cruel to other people who don't hate themselves and their...
And you just piss everyone off with no productivity and no reason. So I guess whatever, right? I can throw it right back at you. What are you doing exactly besides being annoying AF and saying really stupid, dumb things? Sorry, I'm trying not to cuss, but what are you doing exactly? What's coming out of this?
Their bigger bodies.
Gosh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to do a video on her. I might do it right after this. Woo, gosh, that took me back to like when I was working in a call center, customer service. That was like a customer service Karen call beyond. But this time I can talk back because I'm not in that job anymore. And that was personally healing to me. Okay. I don't want music. Music is evil. I think I might just end it here, you guys. Oh gosh, we'll do one more of the... Sorry. Gosh, I can't. Okay, I'm just going to do this and then we're going to be done.
Obesity paradox? And yes,
Oh,
it is
I think
cold
I might
enough
have
for me.
covered this. I think I covered it already. Never mind, we're not doing it. Okay, I feel like I should do at least one more. When I hear people say that fat folks didn't exist back then, I'm scared of music. Okay. So I think when people say that, they're talking about like to this extent, to this size, to this amount of people. That's at least what I mean when I say it. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted by this.
Fat bitches. It's always the fat bitches.
I can assure you it's not the fat bitches. I can't even fit my big fat ass foot through the footholes of some small jeans. Why would I hurt my own feelings like that? But do y'all be taking all the extra large through 2X's so that you can use that motherfucker as like a sweatshirt blanket? Hell yes. Hell yes.
I know, but okay, that whole thing is so weird how they do that or how they care about it, or like this weird like thing with clothing of like, how dare you choose this size? How dare you do that? It's like, you don't own that clothing. Get over it. Somebody can go in there and buy it. I can go in there and buy it. I can buy what I want. I could buy a small. I could buy a 5X. I could buy anything. Whatever I want to buy. It's my money. It's nobody's property except the store until I buy it. Then it's my property. You're not entitled to that. It's stupid. I've heard so many fat acceptance people say that. Okay, we're going to end it here. But this was interesting. I found somebody else to react to. So I'm happy about that. I am. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I might do that right now, actually, or I might look right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think. As always, I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Peace.